objective of Greenhouse is to bridge the gap between our MFA playwrights' academic experience and the gritty reality of trying to cobble together a living in the theater. Our students learn how to move their plays from the page to the stage. They also learn everything they need to know in order to self-produce their work. We do this through an innovative partnership with Z-Space Theater in San Francisco. We begin the semester with masterclasses.
A lot of people say, how do you talk to a playwright? But like any good dramaturg, I start by critiquing the question. It's got a lot of potholes in it. The question implies that there's a methodology to talk to playwrights. There's the research dramaturg, there's an academic dramaturg, which would be working inside a university or a college that would be teaching dramaturgy. So they'd be doing a version of what I'm doing right now, but they'd have a paid position at the college. And then there's me, a new works dramaturg. I learned what not to do, and I learned how to make each experience different. And I again learned, as I learn every time I work with the playwright, about the individuality of the work and the playwright and the job, and the gift it is to do it, and how fragile everything is when you start working with a new play in progress, and how careful you have to be about what kind of imprint you're going to put on that.
So when I started with development, I would sometimes go to events, and I wasn't the individual giving person, but I would go to the events and I'd have to talk to funders every night just to say hi and how's it going, and we're so glad you're here. And I asked my boss, well, how do you do that? And she said, you just accept it as the most unnatural thing in the world to do. And you go ahead and do it. Because let's be honest, it's their job. They're trying to give money to support art. And you're an artist and you think your work is worthy of support. So you go with that approach. Don't just talk about yourself, ask about the foundation. Ask about, hey, what have you been funding lately? What are the interests? Because people love to talk about their work. So I would ask more questions and listen. Marketing and development are very similar. It's just different audiences. So you have to know who you're talking to and how you're talking to them to relay the message that you want their support, whether it's they're buying a ticket or you want them to support a production or your next work.
As I understand it, you're here to produce an entire production by yourself for this class, that's correct, right? And part of that is letting people know about it and getting them there. So, and also doing things that might be related to that, like raising some money for your project, applying for grants, that sort of thing. You should think about, in terms of if you guys have to promote this yourself, you should think about the timeline and assigning who is signing someone who's responsible for the marketing campaign. A lot of this is the sort of like really more project-oriented side of marketing. It's kind of just making a schedule, seeing what has to be done by what time, and organizing who's doing it. It's very much it's really just project management. And the first part is usually making sure making the decisions on the main outlines of what the tagline is, sort of your main design points, and then figuring out when you need to have stuff designed by in order to roll it out.
Then we prepare for our Festival of Staged Readings at Z-Space. Each playwright is partnered with a professional director. Together they cast the play using a combination of professional Bay Area actors and student actors from our own program. The rehearsal process begins. Finally, we move into Z-Space for the festival. There, Z-Space's production manager and box office manager guide the students in running all in-house production aspects. Each play gets 2 readings. The outcome is that our students learn everything they need to know in order to self-produce. the College of Liberal and Creative Arts, the Creative Writing Department, and Theater Arts Department at San Francisco State University share resources with Z-Space. Both institutions are committed to the creation, development, and production of new work. Z-Space gets a first look at these new emerging voices in the theater who are writing stories for our time. And most importantly, our partnership strengthens the theater arts community in the San Francisco Bay Area.